words? No? Say, I feel much better. I feel much better. Are you gonna use your words? No? Nadia. Okay, give mommy a kiss. 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 Kisses. Kisses. Okay, thank you. Say bye. Say bye. You're not gonna say anything, huh? All right, see ya. Hi family, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Mercy. I'm an RN BSN, and on this channel I talk about nursing, lifestyle, beauty. I do a little bit of vlogging. I talk about natural hair, feminine hygiene, home decor, and I just do a little bit of everything. So if you would like to join the family, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit the bell notification so you'll never miss another video. All right family, so today's video is going to be a car video. I'm going to be telling you guys about what happened to Nadia. I know that I posted some pictures and a few videos, and a lot of you were concerned as to, you know, what's going on with Nadia. So I just wanted to come on here and just like share my experience the last few days with you all. First of all, before I even get into the video, I just want to say that I am ready for 2022 to be over. I am ready for this year to be over. This year has been quite a year for me, quite a year. Without going into any details, for those of you who follow me, you already know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, if you're new here, this has been a challenging year for me, and mentally, physically, emotionally. But the worst part, because I don't want to say the icing on the cake, because icing and cake are good things. The worst part, my worst nightmare, was having to lay in a hospital bed for a whole week with my daughter and watching her struggle to breathe. That was it for me. I was ready to just quit everything now. I consider myself a strong person. No matter what I'm going through, I have my moments of weaknesses and my moments where I cry, my moments where I feel bad. But overall, I always look forward to getting back up. I always push myself to get back up, do bigger and better things. And a lot of you keep asking me, how do you keep doing that? Unfortunately, because I'm a public figure, a lot of the things that I've gone through, a lot of you know about it. Some I would have rather keep private to myself, because not everything is meant for the internet, but I don't have control over that, or at least at that time I didn't have control over that situation. So everything, literally everything that has happened to me from 2021 to 2022, you guys know about it. But hey, it is what it is. I guess that just goes to show that we're all human. We all go through things, regardless of if you're a celebrity, an influencer, a nurse, a regular person. No matter who you are, we're all humans. We all go through things. And one of my biggest strength, no pun intended, is that I always try to get back up. No matter what's going on, I always try to get back up. And the fact that I have something or someone to get back up for, it makes me want to do more. It makes me not want to quit, and it makes me not want to give up, because this year has been crazy. You all have seen it. You all have basically witnessed my entire life on the internet. So sometime last month, with everything going on, the whole internet going on, talking about Mercy Gono, Mercy Gono, Mercy Gono, my whole business out there. Again, I decided to pick myself up and just move on with my life and go on business as usual. So I came to Ohio. I closed on one of my rental properties here. I was happy. Things were good. Things were getting good again. So I traveled back. Sorry, my phone is telling me my battery is low. So I traveled back to ATL. I had my new car in the shop. I got it out of the shop. I was enjoying myself, planning things, trying to move forward. And on Friday, it was on a Friday, last Friday, Nandi called. For those of you who don't know, Nandi is my daughter's father. So Nandi calls and says, Nadia's not feeling well. So I was like, what's going on with her? And she, just like any other kid, she got a cold, right? So she wasn't feeling well. She was having runny nose, stuffy nose, coughing, sneezing. She looked really bad. Again, we didn't think anything of it. So I called on FaceTime and I wanted to see her. I saw her. She was looking really weak, didn't want to eat anything at all. She's already a very picky eater. And when she gets sick, it gets worse. She's just like me. When I'm stressed out, when I'm sick, food is my last priority. So Friday, she looks very weak, very sick. Saturday, Same thing Sunday. This whole time I'm calling the hospital from Georgia, calling the hospital here in Ohio and calling her doctor, and they have to do something called triage, which basically means that they have to determine if the child is fit enough to take to the hospital. So every time we call, whether it's the dad calling or me calling, they're telling us, just keep an eye on her, just do this, do that. Is, you know, the common cold. All the kids get it. They share it with each other at daycare and stuff like that. So on Monday around evening time, the dad calls me on FaceTime again, and he's like, at this time I'm already planning to come to Ohio because I'm like, something in my gut wasn't feeling well, and unfortunately I had just left. It's expensive to keep going back and forth, but my gut was telling me something is wrong. So dad calls me on FaceTime and says, all right, so I finally got her to sleep, but she looks weird. And I was like, what do you mean? So he puts her on FaceTime, and I see her, and she's struggling to breathe. Like, you can hear her breathe, and you can see her physically struggling to breathe. But it just looks like she's snoring. So she's going like this. And she's fighting to breathe. So when I saw that, I didn't want to scare him because he was already scared. So I told him, I gave him a number, and I told him, call this number. They're going to triage her again, which means they're going to ask all kinds of questions. They're going to ask about her breathing. They might even put her on the phone to see or to hear how she's breathing. Once you call this number, they'll tell you what to do. I already knew they were going to admit her because when it comes to airway, breathing, circulation, for those of you who are in the medical field, we already know. So, but again, I didn't want to scare him. I didn't want to tell him to call 911, and I wanted him to be brave, to be there with her. So I told him to call that number. So he calls the number. The triage nurse asks him all the questions, and she said, put her on the phone, just, you know, like put the phone on speaker and hold it up to her mouth or her nose so I can listen. Immediately when they did that, they told him to bring her in. So I booked a flight, and I was on my way to Columbus. And so I told him to pack a lot of clothes for Nadia, pack some clothes for himself, because they're going to be there at least overnight or for a day or two. Little did we know it was going to be a whole week, a whole 7 days. And when I tell you my baby went through a lot, she was placed on oxygen. She was placed on, it was hard. It was just hard. I don't want to go into too much details, you know, with her medical stuff, but it was really, really hard. That was just a breaking point for me this year, but that was also one of my strongest moments because I knew that I had to be there for her, and I knew that her dad does not have a lot of knowledge about this stuff, so he was freaking out. So I had to be there for the two of them, and it was really hard, really, really hard. And yeah, it was hard. It was the toughest moment this year so far. And at first I didn't want to share it. I just went about as far as my online activities, because I am an influencer. This is what I do for a living, or at least this is one of the things I do for a living. I wanted to just keep going as usual, but around the 5th or 6th day, I was like, I'm going to share this with people so they know also that not everything is perfect. And I know that there are a lot of mothers out there who are going through something like this, and a lot of parents out there who go through things like this, especially around this time of year. And the worst thing a parent can go through is seeing your baby sick and helpless. And not only are they not able to tell you, you know, really express to you what's going on, you're not able to take that pain away. You're not able to step in and say, I got it, I'll take over, I'll do this. They go through it by themselves, whether they're struggling to breathe, whether it's a asthma attack, whether it's a respiratory infection, whatever it is, you know, the kid goes through it, and you as a parent, all you can do is just be there and support them, even though you want to just like hit a switch that says, okay, that's enough. Or you want to take it over, you want to take that pain over and say, I'll do it. I don't want my baby going through that. I'll go through that. So that's the worst thing a parent can go through. So I just wanted to share that. And I was grateful that I did, because not only did a lot of people pray for us, a lot of people pray for Nadia, a lot of people were also able to share their experiences with me and say, hey, I'm going through the same thing right now. And I'm so happy that you share that, because sometimes when you're going through stuff like this, it feels like you're doing it alone, or it feels like you're the only unlucky person, or, you know, it feels bad. You feel bad because you're like, how come everyone else's life is perfect and I'm the only one always having to go through stuff? If you guys know me, if you guys have seen any of my videos, you know that I went from being on top of my game, being, you know, one of the fastest growing influencers, one of the fastest growing YouTube channels till this day that even I know about, to basically hitting rock bottom, going through a messy public breakup, and with my business out there. And I've never truly really shared my story. I've always have to come back and, you know, update or defend myself. I've never really shared my story about what I went through the last year or the year and a half. But like I said, this one was hardest for me. My baby, laying next to my baby and trying to just help her and make her feel better, and with everything else that has happened, that I'm trying to get my head above water, to see my baby laying there, that was the hardest thing for me. And I'm glad I shared it, because I was very hesitant, but I'm glad I shared it. And I believe in the power of prayers. And literally the night I said something about it on social media, the very same night, Nadia started to get up. She started wanting to play. She started looking for her toys, her stuffed animals. And the next day, she was even better. The oxygen was taken off. She was able to sleep without oxygen, which is one of the reasons why they kept us for so long, because she was requiring oxygen to sleep at night. Whenever the oxygen comes off, she starts to desat, which means her oxygen levels go very low. And it was hard for her to breathe on her own, or hard for her to exchange the oxygen. So she had to wear the oxygen mask. And like I said, literally the same night she started to feel better. The next day the oxygen came off. She was running around the room playing and being herself again. And we got discharged the next day after that, and she has been feeling better. She's forcing herself to play like usual. Nadia is a very active child, very active. And for those of you who know, you know, the close friends and family who have interacted with her, you know how she is. She's not a quiet child. She's not a child that sits around and watches other kids play. She's there. Like, she's very busy. We all call her busy. She's very busy. She wakes up in the morning. As soon as her feet hits the ground, she's ready to go. So when we see her weak and reserved and acting a certain way, we know something's wrong. So I'm so grateful for you guys, for all the prayers, the love, the well wishes. I'm grateful that she's well again. We left the hospital. She's trying to recover. She's resting and she's playing at the same time. She's going back to eating her favorite foods again. And I'm just so grateful to the Almighty God for, you know, such a quick recovery. I nearly lost my mind, you guys. I was like, what is going on? What have I done? Like, why is this happening to me? But like they say, God will never put you in a situation or give you a certain power or privilege that he doesn't think you can handle. So here I am, you know, just going through the motions, but I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to God for his mercy and his grace. And I'm grateful that my baby girl is recovering. So thank you all for the love and support. Thank you for the well wishes, as I said, and thank you for the prayers. I love you guys so much. Like I said, I was planning to come down anyway because I have that project going on here, my home renovation. I was planning to come down, but I wasn't planning to come down that fast, and I wasn't planning to come for that reason. But it is what it is. I'm here. I'm gonna film some videos and show you guys what I'm up to while I'm here. But overall, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for all the experience, all the love, all the support. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in my next one.